Here, that there. Let's share the screen. There we go. Good morning, everybody. Let me put the camera on. That would help. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I know I sure did. And by the way, happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers that are here. You guys did an amazing job. You guys do an amazing job every day. Honestly, I don't know how you guys do it. I wouldn't be able to be a mom. So great job, everybody. All right, let's say hello to everybody and let's get started. We got Devin, Robert, Lydia, Ivano, Wayne, Bill, Wade, Arnulfo, Richard. Good morning, Richard. Matt, Dave, David, Penny. Good morning, Penny. Glad to see you here. We got James. We got Jeff. Good morning, Jeff. Nathan. Good morning, Nathan. The sassy trainer's here. Omar's in the house. Yay. Good testimonial, Omar, last week. Good testimonial. Robert, yeah, strap yourselves, right? Keith, good morning. Kirk, good morning. Sean, good morning. Flying Ronan, David, Michael, Matt Johnson, good morning. Christian, Illinois grain farmer. Thomas, Mike, Dr. Serena, good morning. I hope you had a nice Mother's Day. Kirk, Jerry, Kevin. Kevin is finally back home from Peru. Look at that. How long was it, Kevin? 3 weeks? You've been gone for a while there, weren't you? Or maybe a couple of weeks. Richard, good morning from Puente Gorda. Henry, Randy, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We got, let me continue. We got, ooh, I'm losing track here. We got Henry, Randy, Harold, Mike, Graham, Eduardo, Art, Wardog, Maria, Dave, Jody, Scuba Chris, Tom, Mark, Jean, Rosalind, Mitch. Good morning, Mitch. CJ, Tim, Jill. Good morning, Jill. Bob is here. Hey, Bob. I hope you had a nice weekend. Joy, Charlie, Clyde, Richard, Rick, Blair, Stan, Kevin. 33 days. Okay. Well, boy, those 30. I've got to tell you, Kevin. See, I don't have a good track of time. If you told me you were gone for 2 weeks, I would have believed you. And if you had told me you would have gone for 5 weeks, I would have believed you. Good morning, Herv Two Faces, Rick, Brian, gay Brian. I hope you had a nice weekend. Hope it was relaxing. Vivek, JB, Robert, Ricky, Vertuvian. Good morning, everybody. Um, Let me just start off. First of all, just a few housekeeping tips, okay? I am. It's a funny story, actually. My first filling that I've ever gotten as a kid. I must have been, I don't know, 9, 10 years old. It cracked on me over the weekend. I don't have any pain at all, but I'm going to the dentist at 10:15. More likely than not, I'll be back by VIP room. If not, Matt will start. But I'll be updating you the entire day. But I'm going to be out from like 10:15 till about 11:30. Okay. So just so you guys know, I will be out from 10:15 to 11:30. I have to get my filling, my 45-year-old filling filled. Okay. Speaking of Peru, a group of fishermen who drifted from the coast of Peru rescued after 55 days. Wow. Wow. After another drifted from Peru, rescued 95 days. How did they survive? My God. Beautiful, William. Beautiful. Very nice. Very, very nice. Good for you. Good for you. Good job, William. Good job. That's very, very nice. Very, very nice. Look at you, you rascal, you. Took took the chance that they were going to have some peace talks, huh? Good for you. Good for you. You know, it could have gone the other way too. That's the only problem. But I'm glad it went your way. Good job. Good job. You too, Brian, huh? Getting cracked fillings repaired today. What is it with maybe it's the humidity here in Florida. I don't know. Thank you guys. Thank you. So again, I just wanted to let you know that I will not be available from 10:15 till about I don't know. I don't know how long it takes to do a filling, maybe an hour, 45 minutes. But then I'll be back and I'm going to work afterwards. So just to give you guys a little heads up, I will be live in the VIP room today. We have a lot to talk about. I'm going to teach you guys how to avoid false breakouts. Now, don't miss it. Don't miss it. You don't want to miss it. I'll also be talking about turnarounds, Monday turnarounds. Oh, I already gave you the VIP link. Here's the VIP room link. Here's that too. Here's that. So we got a live class at 2:30 today. All right. I'm going to be revealing my number one turnaround stock. It'll be a lot of fun. Don't miss out for that. It'll be great. Here, let me give you that. And then here's the link for the VIP room. Sorry, I made a mistake and gave you the wrong one a minute ago. Thank you, Dr. Serena. I'm gonna start right now. I wanted to wait till we have about 300 people. Let me just give you a link to Customer Service Live. Cam, Gustavo, good morning. I don't know what you guys will be teaching today, but you may want to let us know. And here's the link for Customer Service Live. Julian is here, Scampy here. We got a lot of people here. Let's get started. Okay, folks, let's start with what is the biggest. I'll be okay, Naples fan. I'll be all right. I'll manage. I'll figure out a way to make it work. And remember, Naples fan, you got nothing to worry about. We got Matt there. You know how Matt is. He can barely contain himself. He can't stop talking, right? You're going to be with us this week on Friday. Yay! I'm so happy to hear that. I'll be in Customer Service Live on Friday. Okay, folks, what are the catalysts this morning? Stock index futures rally at US China agreement. That's number one. What's the second catalyst? Today, not this week. What's the second catalyst? Yes, folks, we all know it's the 90-day pause. Wow, it's my week at Customer Service Live. Yay! Folks, it's obviously the trade deal with China. What's the other major catalyst? We have a major catalyst today. Come on, guys. Please stop telling me it's the trade negotiations with China. That's obvious. The market's up 1,000 points. I mean, come on, that's obvious. We all know that. If you don't know that, you're in the right place. We'll be talking about that in a minute. Yes, Stacy got it right. Stacy got it right. No, Stacy got it right. Drugs. Drugs are going cheaper. Drugs are down about 2%. Drug companies are all down about 2%. So, drugs to the downside, and 90-day Trump blinking to the upside. Okay. So we got two catalysts. We got drugs and Trump blinking. Two catalysts. There's two. There's only two. There's only two. And by the way, if you were to go to our sheet, which we always do, you will see that we're all over it. Right here, right here, and right here. So we will be talking about it. Folks, you need to always know what the two major catalysts is. Don't try to guess. Just ask yourself, what are the biggest things moving the market today? If you can't figure out what's moving the market today, don't trade. Or at least come here before you know so you know what the catalyst is. Today, there are two major catalysts. It's Trump blinking. He had no choice. He had to blink on China. We were about 4.5 weeks away from supply chain being like it was during COVID. We got 38. The ports in Los Angeles have 38% capacity right now. So we're only about 4 to 5 weeks away from COVID conditions. We didn't have a choice. I'll talk about all of that. I'll talk about all of that. But so again, the two major catalysts, and every morning from now on, the first thing I'm going to do when I start here is talk about the major catalysts for the day. The first thing you guys should be here and is doing is telling me what the first your homework every single day is deciding what's the first catalyst of the day. What are the catalysts of the day? Yes, legal drugs. Yes, Michael, the regulations regarding drug prices, which I don't necessarily think are bad. I'm just none of this is good or bad. It's just what is it? What are the catalysts? Okay, what are the catalysts? Yeah. We're having a major supply chain problem. Trump had he had a gun to his head. Okay, let's talk about everything. Let's put everything together. First off, what are the major catalysts this week? Now I'm talking about this week. The first thing I talk about is what's driving price right now? If you cannot answer that question within 5 seconds, you should not be trading. If you can't figure out what the catalysts are right now driving the market at any given time, you should wait. You should not trade till you know what the catalysts are. Okay. All right. So um, let's talk about the catalysts. What's the Fed's favorite gauge of inflation? CPI. What is the first thing the Fed's going to look at? What's going to be the catalyst tomorrow, folks? I'm giving you a freebie right now. What's going to be the catalyst tomorrow? CPI. What's the biggest catalyst this week? CPI. What are some other catalysts this week? You got Thursday, you got jobless, PPI, retail sales. Thursday's a big day. And Friday, you got housing starts and you got import prices. But here's the big catalyst of the week. The big catalyst of the week. Okay? All right. Very bad. Retail sales on Thursday. Very important. Jerome Powell speaking on Thursday. We'll get into that. But right now, the only thing you need to worry about is the CPI report that's coming out tomorrow. And here I highlighted exactly what they're going to be looking at. What's the other? It's not. It's core CPI. It's the core CPI. What's the other catalysts we're looking at this week? Earnings. Here you go. There you go. Those are the earnings. I just posted it for you. I'm going to also post it in Telegram. In all three channels. Why? Because I'm a nice guy. Why not? Save you guys from doing this. What am I posting? These are the biggest earnings players of the week, and this is the implied volatility that's expected from them. Hey, Cam, good morning to you. Gustavo, I hope the Boberman is good this week. Maybe you can bring him on Customer Service Live when I'm there. I would love to see him. Hey, HG, good morning. Ed, good morning. We still have a lot of people coming in right now. This thing isn't working right. By the way, on a side note, please click the link here, the HD link, so that you could see it and switch to 1080p so you could see me and, more importantly, the charts clearly. Right? I mean, you obviously want to have a clarity of these T-shirts that I'm wearing, right? I'm just kidding. But seriously, 1080p. And while you're there, click the thumbs up button right below it, if you don't mind. Thank you so much for doing that. Okay, let's continue. So you guys already know what the big report is of the week. You already know what the biggest catalysts are today. You always have to know what the catalysts are today. Now, let's look at the bigger, by the way, speaking of earnings, keep an eye on Walmart. Remember, it's the only stock I have in my retirement account. Remember I told you that? Today's not a big day, but tomorrow you got China. SE, not SE is not China. That's Pacific, but not China. That's a transport. Cisco. These are consumer stocks, Asian consumer stocks. One is China, one is not. This is China, this is not. You got Cisco, that's a pretty big networking stock. You got another China on Thursday. You got Deere, you got Walmart, you got Applied Materials, very big chip stock. So you're going to have influence on chip on Thursday in addition to all this crap, right? The first thing we're doing right now, oh, he's in pain. Nails fell off. Ooh. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Gustavo. I hope he's doing okay. Let's make sure Jax is okay. All right, we got to make sure the Boberman is doing well. So Thursday will be a very interesting day, and I don't think this rally will sustain itself into Thursday and here unless we hear more good news. Now, how are global markets behaving? They're doing really good. They're obviously loving this news, but we're only at the 50-day moving average on the U.S. bond, on the U.S. dollar. This is the futures, so you could see everything. We're still not above this level. Remember, I told you we need to get above this level right here. We are still in a very bearish environment, but we did break the downtrend. We broke the downtrend, but we're not in the uptrend just yet. We got to be up here. Till we are here in the US dollar, this trade war nonsense is going to continue. Okay. All we got is a 90-day extension. Basically, Trump just blinked for 90 days, and I think he's going to keep blinking and blinking and blinking till it becomes a non-story, just like with the wall, as I told you several weeks ago. Gold is now approaching our buy levels. We are now at our buy levels. We're actually just a hair away from our buy levels. I would wait for us to break down, maybe go to the 50-day moving average and start bouncing back up. I wouldn't be buying gold today. I wouldn't be buying gold till the stock market stopped being so news driven based on this report, and that may happen over the next 2 to 3 days. So my suggestion right now is hold on, wait till we break a little lower, and then wait till we consolidate here and start coming back up and building a base, kind of like what we did right here. I kind of would like to see exactly what we saw right here. Coming down to the 50-day, right around 3150, 3160, as I said previously, and then turning back up. Now, one caveat, one negative here that I don't like. We have a lower high, but there's an exemption here. We have an exemption. This is mostly a wick, and this is mostly price action. So I'm going to say this was the high, and this was the actual high. The only problem here is that this was a higher high, but it didn't really sustain itself, and the meat of the move was right here versus the meat of the move here. So I'm going to treat it as a higher high. I don't want to buy pullbacks when the highs are not getting higher, but I'm not going to suggest that this is a lower high. I'm going to say this is a pretty equal or an even high. So we're still okay. We don't want to see lower highs. We want to see higher highs. We want to see this trend continue. So wait for this to bottom out. Wait for this to bottom out. Gold isn't going anywhere in the next couple of days with this trajectory, okay? I'll get into that, Richard. I'll get into all of that. Usually what will happen is we break this trend and then we come back to this trend, we move higher and then we test it. Kind of like this. Very similar to this. We want to break it, we want to test it, break it and then come back up above it. That's what I would want to see here. And I think we will because this is a pretty bearish sentiment towards gold today. Not for the foreseeable future, just today. Remember, do we have any certainty just got pushed back another 90 days? So nothing has been determined. China's loving this news. China is telling Trump, you're not going to get your way. We're going to get our way. And you need us just as much as we need you or more. So remember I said we're in a hurry up and wait mode last week? And the U.S. markets looked exactly the same way. I also told you once we're ready to go above a key level I told you last week that nothing is going to happen to the U.S. markets till volatility is at 20, right here. I told you that we're not going to break this. By the way, you could quote me on this. I told you last week that if you want to see the stock market above key level, we need to have a major catalyst. And you need to have volatility at 20. Do you guys remember me telling you that? Do you guys remember me telling you that? It was just 3 days ago. It wasn't a year ago. It was just 3 days ago. I said nothing is going to happen. We're not going to see a major catalyst, aka price above these levels till we have a major catalyst until volatility is at 20. Do you guys remember me telling you that last week, late last week? Yes, definitely symbiotic relationship. You guys remember me telling you nothing is going to happen with the US stock market. I said, in order for us to get past all of this, we need to have a major catalyst. And then I said, we need to have volatility at 20. Doo-doo, here we are. Oh, you do remember me saying that. Look at that. You should really listen to me more often. You probably make more money. Okay, good. Well, guess what? Cha-ching. 1970, below 20, right at 20. Right at 20. I told you this last week. Nothing is going to get above. We need to get above this level, and we're not going to get above this level till we have a major catalyst. Totally remember. Okay. I said nothing is going to happen with the S&P or QQQ. I said I said this is a fundamental level. The 200-day moving average is a fundamental level. I drew a triangle for you right here last week, and I told you that the only way we're going to break out to this side is if we have a major catalyst. And I said when we break to that major catalyst, VIX will be at 20. Let's see. How right have I been? Let's see about that. It wasn't that long ago, folks. It was 3 days. It was 72 hours ago. And if you don't believe me, you can rewatch the tape. A major catalyst. A major catalyst. All right, let's continue. Crude oil. Crude oil is going up because we have less fear of a recession. I mentioned to you last week that I believe crude oil will be between 65 and 55. I believe we are going to actually 67 and 56. So not 55 and not 55, 65, but 67. Basically, this area right here. This area right here, which is 64, 60, not 65, it's 64 and a half, basically 65 and 55. And we may go down to 50, but I think we're going to be in this area for quite some time. Okay? We're going to be in this area for quite some time. And the bond market is not buying this at all. Why? Because nothing has gotten better. Nothing has gotten better, folks. Nothing has gotten better. We're just shifting everything back 90 days. The bond market does not have any certainty. Yield is going up, and yield will continue going up. Not only did we screw up our economy big time over the last quarter with this whole tariff mishigas, we have a third of our shipments that are due to America, and do you guys want me to tell you why they made this deal right now? I'm going to tell you why they made this deal right now. Not everything you hear from the White House is what it appears to be. So I'm going to tell you why they made this deal right now. Because they have about 2 weeks, about a week and a half to 2 weeks till the supply chain gets completely destroyed. They had to make this deal so they can continue the supply chain. Otherwise, we would have an environment like the COVID in the US, and people would start not turning against Trump. They would really start turning against Trump. Because I'm going to tell you something. Nobody gives a shit about politics when they can't get toilet paper in their supermarket. All your political beliefs go out the window when you can't find your steak at your favorite food place. All of your I love Trump, it would all go out the windows as soon as toilet paper disappears from the stores. And he would have nobody to blame for it. He can't handle that. It's too much. So all this went back to it. So it just got pushed back because we can't handle this. The world cannot handle this. You guys understand this? Yes, of course. Same thing both ways, of course. Yes, I started stocking up on toilet paper yesterday, actually. And rice too, by the way. Yeah. So we didn't really have a choice. We needed to do this. And I'm going to make a prediction for you. It's going to get pushed back another 90 days. And then it's going to get pushed another 90 days. And then and then Trump is going to say, well, we're just going to let them deal with it. And yeah. We'll just move on to something else. And that'll be the end of the tariffs. as I predicted about a month and a half ago. Okay. Toilet paper is made within the US, almost all of it. Thank God for small paper, small for small favors. Anyways, you guys get the point. What about U.S. Treasury bonds? They're going to be dumped. Well, we're not out of this position, folks. We're not out of this yet. We're still, nothing. We're still in a shitty economy. This is just a short-term relief rally, but it's a step in the right direction. All right, let's talk about the stock market now. Yes, they're used to hardship. We're not used to hardship. We're used to getting everything on a silver platter. Ah, yeah, we're not used to hardship. Let me give you some links, guys. Today's rebalancing day. I'll be doing a very cool webinar about turnaround Mondays. We got VIP room at noon, and I'll try to be there 100%. And we do have false breakouts today. And don't forget Customer Service Live. Here's the link for Customer Service Live. Let's continue. Let's get into all of this. All right, let's go through the big picture. China US agreed to reduce tariffs for 90 days following a trade talk. By the way, there is no trade. I know Trump keeps talking and saying there's a trade agreement. There's a trade agreement. We don't have any trade agreements with any countries. All we have is a extremely non-binding, extremely basic framework for generalities. Just like, like the document is going to be about 1,800 pages long. We have about a page of it done so far. Just to give you some idea of how in depth we are in all this tariff stuff. Okay. Get bidet. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true, Kiang. You're right. You're right. Okay. Remember, we're not out of this. We're not, the bond market is reminding us we're not out of this just yet, but we're moving in the right direction. The US dollar is still very, very much deflated, but we're above par. And that's key. China has some clarity. US has some clarity. Crude oil has some clarity. Now let's move into what's moving the markets. Yeah, we have a brief parlay. That's exactly what it is. China US agreed to reduce tariffs for 90 days following a weekend trade talks aimed at easing tensions, not at making an agreement. There is no agreement. We don't have an agreement with UK. We don't have an agreement with China. We have zero agreements. All we have is, hey guys, let's play nice for 90 days so none of us make an ass out of myself and the president still looks good. That's all this is. That's all this is. Okay? We've made about as much progress on this trade war as Elon Musk made in recalibrating our federal government. Okay, that's about how much of an impact we've made so far. Okay, all right. U.S. announced that it would reduce reciprocal tariffs on China goods from 125% to 10%. Yes. Why don't we just pretend it didn't happen? President Trump's 20% fentanyl-related tariffs on China will remain. Good luck with that. At the same time, China will lower its tariffs on U.S. goods to 10%. The mutual tariff adjustments will take effect May 14th. I have a friend who owns a bike shop. He bought one bike without the tariffs and one bike with the tariffs. And he's being really good to consumers. He's putting the added tariffs to it. Because people coming into a store going, why am I paying $800 for this bike? And why am I paying $1,500 for this bike? He's like, because this bike I have to buy with tariffs and you have to pay the tariffs. People are laughing at him. They're laughing at him, okay? They're like, you think we're going to pay $500 more for an $800 bike? He's like, you are. If you want the bike, that's exactly what you're going to have to do. So people are not having this. Americans are not having this, okay? They're not having this, okay? Yeah, in order to make the toilet paper, we need to have lumber, and a lot of the lumber is made outside of this country. Um, Let's a lot of people talking. All right. All right. Nobody's telling giving me a hard time political time anymore. It's very interesting. All right. Adjustments will take effect May 14th. Yep, in 2 days. Folks, my prediction is there will be no tariffs, or if there will be tariffs, they're going to be very, very minor across the board. They're not going to impact our economy in any way. And no, they're not going to reduce the amount of deficit to pay tax. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. All right. Besant said, we're in agreement that neither side wants to decouple. We had a very robust and productive discussion. Right. Stepping forward on fentanyl, that talk could result. Basically, nothing happened. They're just cooling their heels for 90 days. Yep. 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 Jerome Powell, I already told you we have a lot of Fed stuff this week. Last week we had a few stocks doing well, a few stocks doing bad. That's not really what's driving price. We have a 92% chance that there won't be any. There's not going to be anything with the Fed because the Powell's going to say, "Dude, make some rules first, then get me involved. Don't get me involved in your shenanigans." That's what Powell is saying. Don't get me and the U.S. and the Fed involved in your shenanigans. Make some decisions, buddy, and then we will react accordingly. We're not going to go make preemptive Fed announcements based on some cockamamie potential tariff mishigas that's not going anywhere. Remember what I told you about these tariffs. Nothing is going to happen. Remember the wall? This is the wall part two. I know a lot of you are probably hurt by me saying this. You weren't expecting it. Believe it, accept it, and move on because that's the reality of life, folks. Okay. All right. Yeah, hemp is a much better solution, but we had the richest man in the world about 100 years ago put an end to that. Uh, Cam. All right. Consumer inflation report from April will be the big report. That's this report right here that I keep talking about and highlighting. This is going to set the stage this week. That's happening tomorrow. Tiago, you got to be logged in. Boyd, you still don't get it, do you? All right. We got retail sales data from April and University of Michigan preliminary consumer sentiment index. Boyd, I'll be the one reminding you in 6 months. Trust me on that. Uh, Retail sales data in April, University of Michigan consumer sentiment will be watched this week. Very important. We got PPI, we got core PPI, we got a lot of stuff this week. Uh, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell will be speaking. We got a lot of earnings this week, and I'm going to remind you again, the only stock I'm holding is double Walmart. Now think about it. Why is Roger only holding Walmart in his retirement account? If he felt so warm and fuzzy about the stock market, why would he only have Walmart in his retirement account? Let's think about that one. Tiago, everything you say here, I could see. Tiago says I made two comments before but didn't show, but that's okay. Tiago, everything you're writing, I'm seeing here. Okay. So you're not seeing it, but we're seeing it. Yeah. What Richard just says, we're seeing you to posting it. Oh, it'll be a lot of fun. Europe is up 2%, tracking gains in U.S. stocks after U.S. China agreed to temporarily suspend most tariffs because tariffs are a bad thing, as Warren Buffett continues to say. Uh, Led the game. We got everything leading today. Drug makers retreated after U.S. President Trump announced plans to reduce U.S. prescription drug prices. You guys are obviously not reading this. If you did, you would know. The two major catalysts today: tariffs, drugs. Of course he is. China talks provided a wave of relief to investors who had been fearing that an escalating trade war between the world's largest economies could push the global economy into a recession? Oh, yeah, it's like that. Why do you think crude oil is rallying right now? Remember, I told you crude oil looks like it made a double bottom? That's why it's rallying right now, avoiding global recession. That's the only reason, folks, why they made this announcement and did this. That's the only reason to avoid a global recession. China ended higher. Sentiment was boosted by signs that trade tensions between the world's largest countries are easing. Also, it'll have less of an impact. All this trade war stuff, everything that would move the VIX 10 points last week is going to move the VIX 2 points this week. Now, I know a lot of you are too busy thinking about tariffs and not listen to what I just said, so I'm going to repeat it again. And I mentioned this before about a month ago. The deeper we get into this tariff mishagaz, all this tariff stuff, this tariff mumbo jumbo, the less impact all these tariffs announcements in the future will have. If a Trump was going to have an announcement last month, it would have 3 times the impact that it'll have right now because volatility is getting used to it. Okay. Um, China ended higher as sentiment was boosted by signs that the trade tension between the two world's largest economies is easing. Defense and technology stocks outperformed on Monday. The positive sentiment followed reports from both China and U.S. of substantial progress. But you see, you know what this is not taking into account? What this is not taking into account is global economy is slowing down without this. And as soon as we get past this, that's what we're going to be dealing with. We're having a major slowdown, credit crunch. This is destabilizing. We don't need this right now. We have a lot bigger things, bigger fish to fry. So we have mega cap earnings and revenue prognosis up only 4%, not 12 or 20% like it was a year and a half ago. We're having a major global slowdown, folks. This is going to be the least of our worries 90 days from now. The world is getting used. Yeah, all bark, no bite at all, Carlos. No, not just no bite, just confusing, destabilizing, making promises, saying things that aren't true, just completely making us into assholes, pretending that we're stupid assholes, which is not cool because Americans are not stupid, okay? We have a trade deal. We have a trade deal. No, we don't have a trade deal. We have another trade deal. No, we don't have a trade deal. We have a 90-day pause. No, it's a trade. Please, just stop this bullshit already. It's getting old. Yeah. Pharmaceutical stocks slumped on worries over falling drug prices. Trump announced plans to sign an executive order lowering prescription price. All right, what's moving the market today? FANG stocks, chip stocks, pharmaceutical stocks. Pretty much all stocks. All stocks. All stocks are up except for pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals are down. Yeah, the boy who cried wolf. Remember, I told you what happens to the boy. I told you that it's going to end up being the boy who cried wolf a month ago. And I told you, do you guys remember what I told you a month ago? Nothing is going to happen. So far, who has been the most accurate on all of this stuff? We're not going to have any trade deal. We're going to keep getting pushbacks. Nothing is going to happen. Who has been 100% accurate on everything that's happened up to right now? 100% accurate, not 50%, not 75, 100% accurate. Boyd, where did you hear about this 8 trillion investment in the US from Trump? Who did you hear this from? That's right, Alan. You can't gauge relative strength from till a pullback. Folks, including Boyd. Boyd, remember I told you nothing is going to happen. We're not going to have any trade agreement. None of this is going to happen. You know, Boyd, I used to have a guy here. His name was Cyrus. He's still here, but now he agrees with everything I say. Boyd, where did you hear about this $8 trillion investment? I want to know. You're gonna eat from people making the investment. Okay. Thank you, Boyd. All right, guys, let's talk about the stock market. As I said, nothing is going to happen until volatility is at 20. We're now at 20. Boyd, you do realize that I speak to people who actually work in the White House. And usually they plan everything about 6 to 9 months in advance. Just saying. Just saying. Just FYI. Okay. All right. We're we're um we're volatility's now below 20. No deal was going to happen this weekend. No deal happened, and no deal is going to happen in the foreseeable future. Um, all right, we're below 20 on VIX. How is the stock market looking? Ooh, we had our catalyst. No trade deal with China and US. That's a big catalyst. We're now above the 200-day moving average. Are we going to stay above the 200-day moving average? I'm going to draw a little picture for you right now. Those are the two pictures. There's no trade, Betty, there's no trade deal with the UK. We have not reached a trade deal with the UK. Betty, listen, Betty. A trade deal involves over 2,000 page document and about 9 to 18 months of negotiations. We don't have any trade agreement. Please stop listening to Fox News. We don't have any trade agreement. Okay? So, folks, look, we're either gonna come down right here and come right back up, or we're going to come right back. We're going to just come back here and come right back down. Well, Roger, that's not really giving us anything. Yes, it is. You know why? Because I'm not expecting a move higher right now. I'm expecting a move lower, then a move higher, or a move lower. So you see, even if we go higher, we need to base out. We need to build a base here. We need to build a foundation here in order to move higher. We need to key off of this. We need to key off of this 100 day or the 200 day, which is right here. The 100 is above the 200, so it's fine. Another major problem, the 50 day is not above the 100 day. We have the 200, 100, and the 50s right here. The 50-day moving average has to come up here in order for us to have a real clear trend. Folks, we don't have any trade agreements with anybody. A trade agreement is extremely extensive. It's a legal document that takes years, almost a year to create. It's 1,800 to 2,000 pages long. That's what a trade agreement is. All we have is just, hey guys, are we good? Can we make the world pretend that we're all good and we're all playing together to prevent this thing and make the president look good? Okay, great. Thank you. Do you guys not understand that? I mean, do you guys not understand that? You guys do understand we have no trade agreements at all, zero. People are laughing at him. Jack, people are laughing at him and saying, "You think I'm going to buy this bike for $1,500?" And he's like, "You will if the tariffs remain." Okay. Yeah, it's a start. It's a start. Yeah, it's a start. Every single article must be listed. Everything has to be um, everything. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Jeff. A typical tariff agreement is 1,800 to 2,000 pages long and takes 9 to 18 months to create. Do you guys think we have a tariff agreement with UK and China? If you do, maybe I could sell you this water. I'll just go to the tap and sell you and tell you this is Avion, okay? Jesus. People are so naive, it's amazing. Of course they, Helen, please, there's not going to be, folks, when you think about trade agreement, I want you to think about the Wall of Mexico. It sounded like a great idea, right? Until we had to pay for it. Okay. All right. So nothing good here. How about the SPY? Let's look at the SPY. No, it didn't. It took a lot longer than that, Mike. So again, we're above this level. Are we going to go higher? We need to create a foundation. We have too much of a gap here. We need to see what's cooking. Keep in mind, we haven't seen the market move at all right now. All this is futures. This is just speculation on what will happen based on the overnight markets and futures. This is futures. Futures are moving the market. This is just based on the current sentiment. This is the market getting really excited and really happy right now. It has to continue, which means we have to have a further catalyst for this to sustain itself. Not let's now wait 9 months or 6 months. The market is moving like this because there is no agreement right now. And that's what the market really wants. Absolutely no trade agreement. Okay? All right, let's continue. What about mega caps? Let's look at mega caps. Not yet at the 100-day. Not yet at the 100-day. We need to be above the 100-day. Matter of fact, we need to be above this 53 level. Are we above this 53 level? No. We at least need to get above the 100-day. Let's look at semiconductors. Are semiconductors above the 200-day moving average? No, no, they're not. We're at the 200-day moving average. We're not above the 200-day moving average. Ooh, it's raining outside. RSP, look at this line. We're right at the 200, and I drew this line. Have we broken this line? Remember, we have to break this whole thing right here, which means we need to break above this level. We're almost there, but we haven't broken above. We need to break out. We still don't have complete clarity. This morning, how many stocks are trading above the 200-day moving average? We're coming into the market with only 36% of stocks trading above the 200-day moving average. Now, this number is going to probably be about 45, 50. But how many do we need to see above? We need to see more than 50. What will happen after 50 now that the news is already priced in or will be priced in that we're having a 90-day pause with China? What's going to be the next catalyst? That's the problem. And can this be, we need this at 65, 70%, not going from 36 to 50. Keep an eye on this today. What about market momentum? Do we have strong momentum one way or the other? Well, we will today, hopefully. But right now, we have 56 stocks making a 52-week high. We have 31 stocks making a 20-week high. We have 70 stocks making a 50-day high. We have 276 making a 20-day high. Is this at look last week? 704, 290, 153, 243, 400. Now we're back to 276. So this number really needs to move this number up. We need to see 50-day highs. 50-day highs. I want to see 400 here, 300 here, not 70. Okay? There's not a lot of stocks making momentum moves right now. Thank you, Deanna. I'm a Scorpio, so we'll see what happens. All right. Let's talk about some stocks that we like to the downside, and then I'll talk about how you should navigate today, which is going to be the most important part. Meanwhile, let me give you some links. We got a class at 2:30. I'm going to be talking about turnaround Mondays. Remember, Monday's a turnaround day. We're going to talk in the VIP room about false breakouts. All right, very important, false breakouts. And Cam and Gustavo are going to talk about Uncle Roger's programs all day. 9010s, let me show you 9010s, Jeff. We'll have to look at them after today, obviously, but there's nothing here. There's not even worth, I mean, I don't even mention it unless it's like 100 or over. Celebration party. Guess mom. Good morning. I guess mom fell at her celebration party for beating cancer, busted her hip. Oh my goodness. Eagle Beagle. I'm so sorry to hear that. Man, she got over cancer and she broke her hip. I don't. So sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that, Eagle Beagle. I'm going to the dentist. I don't know if you heard. I'm going to the dentist at about 10 o'clock. I'll be gone from 10 to 11, but I'll be here all the way till about 9:45, updating you guys. And I'll tell you before we leave here what you should expect today. I hope she's better. How old is she, Eagle Beagle? How old is your mom? Is she in the 80s? Ouch. How old is mom? So sorry to hear about mom. So sorry to hear about mom. There's nothing worse than when moms and it was Mother's Day yesterday to add insult to injury. How old is she, Eagle Beagle? And I want to hear more about mom. How old? Oh, 91. Oh shit. Ouch. Wow. Well, look at the bright side. At least she beat cancer, right? At least she beat cancer, Eagle Beagle. All the best to your mom. Tell your mom that Uncle Roger wishes her all the best, full recovery, and tell her if she wants a little humor to join us at noon, okay? I'd love to meet your mom. I love older people. I love older people. Um, all right, stocks that we're looking at. So momentum is not moving yet. This news is big, but we got to take it with a grain of salt. By the way, crypto is moving higher, and crypto is on my watch list. I really like crypto right now for two reasons. Crypto is being. Let me show you something. Crypto is in this area, and it doesn't have major resistance till we get up here till about 83. It's got another point and a half left till we get to this major resistance level. So you still have some upside, and now U.S. dollar is above par. So there's really, and it's still moving. So this is very beneficial. I like crypto. So let me give you stocks that I'm looking at to the downside first. It'll be very easy for me to gauge downside stocks today because the market's a big. So if a stock is going to go down today, that means there's without a question institutional selling. SG, ART. I'm going to give you a couple of healthcare stocks. Okay, Merck, Regeneron, also APLS. Prayers to mom, Eagle Beagle. That's so sad. So sad. So sad. So APLS, I just gave you three pharmaceuticals, only one to a customer, okay? Procter Gamble. This stock has been on my bearish list for a few weeks now. I think I gave it in the pit a little while ago. Procter and Gamble and Pepsi. I know we were in the pit on that one. Look, it's down. Consumer defensive stocks are going to be weak today. Speculative stocks are going to be rocking and rolling today. Church and Dwight, bear stock. TMO, Thermal Fisher. She's a trooper, and God bless her for all the nice words. I'll update you. Yeah, please keep us posted. Yeah, it took 14 months to negotiate NAFTA. Folks, a trade deal is a real legal document. You got to take this stuff seriously. Every little thing has to be put in there. Think about all the details. Look, if you don't believe, look, remember, I have a law degree. I actually know a little bit about this. It takes 8 to 14 months to come up with a real trade agreement. It's not we're going to have a trade deal and this trade tariffs are going to pay for our tax. If it was that simple, everybody would be doing it, okay? Yes, make sure you experience the complete recovery. Complete recovery. 91 years old, I got to say, it's not easy, I would imagine. ENR. But I think it also depends on the person. I've met some pretty feisty 91-year-olds. I hope she's a feisty grandma, Eagle Beagle. Twist. Twist. My grandmother, God bless her. I never cried so much in my life as when my grandmother passed away. My grandmother was my best friend. We were really tight. My grandmother and I were really, really tight. I loved my grandmother. One of the only reasons why I'll visit LA again is to visit my grandmother's burial plot. We were very, very tight. Very, very tight. How could you influence health insurance with lower drug prices? Great Bros announced because they have been working on one for years. All right, let's continue. Now, let me give you bullish stocks. Folks, please be careful with bullish stocks. All stocks are going to look beautiful today. That's not where you want to be. You want stocks that confirm, that can give you a confirmation first. These stocks are a little overdone. All stocks are going to be running today. When the market's up 1,000 points, everybody looks like a genius that has a bullish market. Be careful and keep an eye on Bitcoin because Bitcoin, if we move money into stocks and out of gold, uh, and if US dollar goes up, Bitcoin may suffer. But for now, Bitcoin is still bullish. So just giving you Bitcoin. It's on my list, okay? GE. I like this stock. I like the stock last week a lot. A lot. GE. Be careful today. I'll talk about the overall movement of how you should navigate the market today. Spirit Airlines. Now, folks, I have not given you the most important piece of the puzzle. I'm saving the best for last. So please wait. Don't go anywhere. Okay? I need to give you instructions of how to trade this. Hey, look at that. We got 679 people here. How about some thumbs up? I like that. New York Times. Nice little breakout. Calex. TJW. Who's TJW? TJW. Oh, TJW. Calex. Vert. Virtual finance. Financial stocks should look good. Natural gas stocks should be looking good. EQT. I like this stock, by the way. Schwab. Oops. Schwab is looking good. Financials. But gappy. I'm going to talk, folks, please. Just because I'm giving you a list doesn't mean I'm done. I have something very I'm going to give you a game plan for today. So take it easy. Don't go nowhere. Yeah, my grandmother and me were really tight. Thank you, Boyd. Cortiva, nice breakout here. What was that stock we did in the TEM? I'm just curious. I'm not giving you the stock. I'm just curious about this stock. Yeah, this stock should move higher too. We had a nice winner last week. As soon as this stock trades higher, I would be buying it above 66.60. 66.60, I would buy this stock. It's a nice breakout, but it needs to go above this price. Uh, Moss and is it RBA? The stock looks good. And let me give you the last one, Spirit Airlines. Spirit Airlines. So now, folks, thank you, Eagle Beagle. So now I'm going to give you a game plan, okay? Okay. Now I want you to listen and listen good, okay? In case I'm not around. I'll be around as much as I can. I'm not going to be around from 10:15 till about 11:30. I don't know how long it takes to do a filling, but after that I'm going to work and we'll have the VIP room. So if you have long positions, my suggestion would be to liquidate them at the opening. What? The market's up 1,000 points and you want us to take profit? Yes, and I'll explain to you why. Okay. This is too much. Where's my futures? This is too much too fast. I think we're going to have a pullback. We have way too many gap ups this morning. Virtually every stock on my watch list has a gap up. Gap ups are gifts, folks. They are gifts. When the market gives you a gift, You don't look you don't look at it the wrong way, you take it. Does everybody understand what I just said? Yes. Take profit. Take profit on your longs. Take profit on your longs. If the market's going to go higher, it's going to base out a little bit. It's going to create some pullbacks, and those pullbacks are going to create another rally. Think about this. We are just here right now. We haven't really gone anywhere. We have a massive gap right here. And tomorrow we have CPI. Folks, we have not had any resolutions. And this destabilization that our president has done with all this tariff has whacked the market out of balance, as we all know. Even Boyd will agree to that. The market has been out of balance the last couple of weeks. The market needs to rebalance itself. It needs to recalibrate itself. It needs to know what it's doing. Right now, this is just short covering. What you are seeing is a reaction to overnight markets and short covering. The bulls have not stepped in yet. This is the future speculating what will happen today. I want you to use these futures to offset your profitable positions. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Capiche? Look at what Penny's a professional trader. Look what she wrote. This morning, I'm taking profits. Am I telling you to rush in and buy your favorite stock? No. Virtually every stock that I gave you is overbought. On the upside is overbought. Well, Roger, that's not consistent with what you've been saying. Yes, it is. It's Monday. Mondays are rotational days. We have a huge Fed report. This is just the market being happy from getting some good news that we're not going to have COVID-like conditions over the next month. This is a relief rally. This is not a catalyst rally. This is a relief rally. A relief rally needs not to be bought, but needs to be sold. Capiche? Does everybody understand what I just said? Of course, Sassy Trainer. Ironically, the other one is metal. It's like 45 years old. Does everybody understand what I just said? Oh, thank you, Boyd. Boyd's going to do exactly what I said. Thank you. Please, please, please. Now, if I'm wrong, okay, you won't profit as much on your trades. But if I'm right, you'll get a much better entry than you will right now. And you'll be able to buy back all of those stocks at a better discount. Roger, does that mean pharmaceutical stocks too? No, of course not. Stocks that are up big. If you have a stock that gapped up this morning, I would take your profit within the first half hour. I am about 85% sure this rally is going to be retraced at some point this week. We're not talking about day trading. We're talking about positions. Then you wait. Ivan, you wait for me to give you signals. You wait for me to update you. Here's what I think is going to happen. Let me show you. I got to get out. Well, actually, I don't have to get out of here. I don't have to. I'm going to eat breakfast, go to the dentist. But here, let me show you something. Look at this gap. We closed at 566. We're at 581. This should at least touch the 100-day moving average. So here, look at this gap. I think we're going to come to the 578 area and start filling this gap and create a bait. We need to create some touch points, some support points. We have no support. We have a huge rally. Do you think we're going to have a gap and go one day ahead of CPI, knowing that what's his name, Powell, is not a friend of Trump? Remember, nothing has been resolved. We're just pushing the can back 90 days. So this is right now short covering and reaction from global markets overnight. How do I know that? Well, let me show you. Look at China. China's up 3%. The SPY is up 3%. This is a reaction. This is a reactionary rally. So what I think is going to happen is during the first half hour to 45 minutes, A lot of shorts are going to cover their short positions, especially on tech stocks. That may cause a little bit of a rally, but I think as the day continues, we're going to I think this is going to fizzle out and just kind of continue here or come down to the bottom. I will keep you updated all day long. Your first action in the morning should be getting rid of your positive longs that are overextended and stop there and wait. Okay. I will be giving you instructions. I will be letting you know exactly what I'm seeing. I'll be updating you on the Telegram channel. Just take profit and hold off. Because, folks, tomorrow morning, because this right here is reality. This is not sentiment. This is reality. Right now, this is just sentiment driving. We're going to have trade war. We're not going to have a trade war. Think about it. The market's happy about something that should have happened that's not happening. That's not a good sign. If these numbers are not solid tomorrow, and I'm actually expecting pretty good numbers, the market's price will already price this in for the most part. Also, the bond market is not reacting. The bond market is not reacting to this. So, folks, I would be very, very cautious. Okay? I would be very, very cautious. I don't know what the Volt will do today. I don't know what gold will do today after the market opens. I want to see, number one, I want to see which sectors are going to lead. I want to see how many sectors are weaker. I want to see if we take out the high after the first half hour or 40 minutes of the day. I will be updating you all day long. But my suggestion is, if you have some short-term positions that are in a good profit in the morning, take the profit off the table. I will be doing that. Richard will probably be doing. Richard, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm assuming you're going to be doing that. Yeah, don't let greed foam at the mouth. Exactly. I'm just going to read some. Now it's 3 months. What about spreads? Everything. Anything that's bullish. Anything that's bullish. Chad, give me a trade. Give me an example, and I'll tell you. Chad says, what if our positions are not overextended? Give me a position. Give me a position, Chad, and I'll tell you if it's overextended or not. I got a couple of minutes, so just let me know, and I'll tell you right now. Because your definition of overextended may be very different than my definition of overextended. And remember, if you want to see if something is overextended, here, you could use this tool. Sorry, Richard, I'm not. I wasn't really focused on the. Richard says, yeah, same, yeah. You validated my thoughts. I have a feeling this rally will be short-lived. I do too, or maybe not short-lived, but just not as big as people think it would be. Here, let me show Bollinger Band width. See, this is a little over. I would prefer buying it around here. I just want to see what your definition of overextended is. It's a little overextended. IBTI, IBIT. Look how far away this is from the 8-day EMA. Remember the rule I taught you last week? If it's one ATR away from the 8-day EMA, it's overextended. Do you guys remember me teaching you that? Please don't scalp or do anything to the E-minis till you get our we send alerts for that. Okay. If you want, close down 3/4 of your position and put a runner in at break even, stop loss. So either wait the first 20 minutes, half hour, liquidate your long, or liquidate 75% of your long and hold a runner with a stop loss near break even. Capiche? Before I go, does everybody understand the instructions? Hey, Jesse, how are you? Yeah, look how overextended it is. Look how the majority of these stocks are. Like, look at CAR. So, and the stocks that are moving up to this point are not beautiful either. Look how far this is from the 8-day EMA. If you're more than one ATR away from the 8-day EMA, you're overextended. Here, you could just see it visually. Thank you, Jeff. What I expect to happen is this to come down to the 8-day and then going long. Folks, if you have an A-line position, you're obviously, Curtis, going to get instructions if it's time to sell. Okay? All right, guys, I got to get out of here. I'm going to the dentist in 1 hour. I will be gone. I will be at a dentist chair from 10:15 till I don't know how long a cavity takes, maybe an hour, hour, 15 minutes. Then I'm going straight to the office. I should be there by noon, right? 2 hours and 40, an hour, 45 minutes is more than enough. I'm about 15 minutes away from the office. And if not, Matt will start early. I do have my Telegram on, and I will be updating you if I see something kosher. But please be patient. I will be home. I'm not leaving for the first 15 minutes of the open, so I'll be updating you on Telegram. So you'll have some updates, okay? Yeah, car has ATR of 5.3. Ay, 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 ay. All right, folks, my job is to keep you out of trouble. Stop all this political nonsense. Focus on price. We're overbought short term with this rally. I think this is going to be a lot of short covering this morning, a lot of short covering and a lot of profit taking. I would be very, very cautious. And remember, Trump's going to be talking, I believe, and we have CPI tomorrow, which is the biggest report of the week. All right. I'll be updating you. I got your back. Your interest is, we have an aligned interest. I want you guys to do well. I want you guys to trust me. I want you guys to be here for the next 10, 15, 20 years. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. Please don't get too overly excited with this rally. I'm not. Okay. Bye, everybody. Take it easy today and don't get greed get to you. Okay. Futures are starting to sell. Broke my trend line mark of people taking profit. Bye, guys. Take care. Love you all. Wish me luck at the dentist. Okay. I hate going to the dentist.